Alright, Muskie, since you're here first, you get to decide. I went to an event this weekend and I have some make and takes to show, so I can show them first or I can show them after. You get to decide. And you decide while I find the piece of DSP that I want. Sorry, I've been eating a lot today. I am pooped. Alright, well, we'll start with our card and then how did they make out? The cats or the cards? Alright, I think this is Darling Duckling, isn't it? Different. Oh, maybe it's not. Echo, let there be, turn on the craft room light.
Okay.
Let's see, did that help at all? First, okay. So, our first make and take, well, they were all set up so you could go through whatever one you wanted first, but this one happened to be a gingerbread station, and so you have the cute little gingerbread, and then she used one of those fancy DSPs that have the gold entwined, and it made for the perfect little candies. And she made us a little bag with 3-star gingerbread cookies. I have a photo with this attached to them, but they may have been eaten with tea yesterday because, you know, cookies. But using this DSP with this set was absolutely genius. It makes the cookie or the little treats just look like they're extra special for Christmas. So I thought that was really cool. So and then little gumdrops there. So that was one of them. And then this was another one. I probably should have looked at the names of these sets. But I have them added again in the photos. So she actually embossed their sentence with this set. I didn't do that because it was really busy and getting a little warm, so I just wanted a break of not standing up. But she introduced us to this iridescent mica powder. I don't know if you can see it, but it's all shimmery. It's really cool. So I have about 4 in my cart now on Amazon. So, and then to make the colors pop more, she actually added some blending brushes to them. I did a pink and a blue. I think it was Balmy Blue, and I think it was Flirty Flamingo. I could be wrong though. But it just helped make it really pop. It was really cool. And then we had this one, which is stunning. And I will admit, I looked at this set. I chose not to get it yet. So, Balmy Blues, they're my favorite. So the DSP is in my cart. Then we got the cute little dove, ribbon, which I have. I just haven't used it yet. And this beautiful DSP. And this really cool embossing folder. So, that one's really nice too. Sorry. Okay, and then Mirin made this one, and it's a fancy fold. It's actually a really cool fancy fold. I love fancy folds where you don't have to slice snips of the paper and then try to pop things out. This one is literally strips and you hear them, and so it's not as much math kind of involved. So what do you have in your Amazon cart? Oh, so the micro powder pearlescence. It's what made this shimmery. I don't know if you can see. So it's different than like our sparkle, but it was a powder, and so I have multiple in a cart because you can get different colors. So you can have ones that have hues of blue, hues of pink. Like it was a rabbit hole. I was down for like hours just looking at all the colors, and then I was like, oh, Tori would love this one. I love this one. So then we got the little festive friends here for this set, and we went green, which was really cool. I like the snowflakes in green. even though I love blue. So that was really cute. These trees have like almost a Susian feel. So put them up there. I will try. Remind me if I don't. So this was a very cute little box, and again with that same peaceful DSP, and so this one opens up like this, and then she gave us licorice for in here, just a little fun Halloween pack, which also has magically disappeared. Not sure where that one went. And then there was also a little treat bag, which also may have disappeared, but again I took pictures of everything, so you'll be able to see them all up on my blog or Facebook. I'll post them eventually. So alright, so today we're going to work with a color challenge for my Inkspiration color challenge. I think that's what they're called, color Inkspiration challenge. So we got to use Smoky Slate, crushed curry, and basic black. So we don't have colors in crushed curry, sadly. So we have to use the ink pad for that, but I do have colors in these ones, so that's what we're gonna work with. So I got this set with this paper. This paper is beautiful. I am loving it. Although I am a silver fan, sometimes gold does work. And Stampin' Up! Really likes gold, so that's what they've picked. But the reason why I picked this set is because this one comes with baubles. And one, I don't have any type of baubles, none whatsoever. I like the trees too, but I like the baubles. And I thought, how cute would it be to have an animal inside the bauble to put on your Christmas tree? So we're going to do 2 sets today so that I can create one of the animals inside the baubles. And we're gonna use, I think, the bear because he's bigger. The cat is big too, but not. Maybe we'll do 2 baubles actually. We can go bear, and then we could go dog actually. There you go, we'll do those 2. Okay. So normally I do my coloring first and then my die cutting, but I want these to be specifically colored. Let's see, can I fit both these on this? Nope. So I needed some circles done, and I wasn't feeling like die cutting, and Tori loves to shop, so I told her, because we were gonna go to the dollar store, if she did some die cutting for me, I'd pay her. And she was like, how much? And I said, for every single circle you die cut me, I will give you 25 cents. And then I said, however, if you don't die cut them properly, you lose 5 cents. So then they'd be just 20 cents. Sometimes she just goes too fast and she doesn't realize they've slipped. And so some of the edges weren't cut off or something properly. And so she did quite a few. She did really good. Okay, so those are done. And then I'm going to do the topper in crushed curry. So yeah, so now I get just like all the basic circles or she's cut out, so it's great. How much did I pay her? $3, I think. She thought it was great. And she was here a while ago in the summer, and she had one day where she was just kind of having an off day, and she just wanted to lay down and snuggle with her non-snuggly auntie. And so I introduced her to Donald Duck and the Bee. This is one of my favorite cartoons. And then after that came Garfield and Friends. I love Garfield. I don't know why, or I don't think anyone would be surprised that I absolutely love Garfield. And so that came on after because I watched it without her, because as a little kid she didn't really care for Garfield. But now those are two of her favorite things. Every time she comes in, she's like, let's watch Garfield, let's watch Donald Duck. So we were watching those while she was die cutting, and I was doing some other prepping stuff. Alright, black ink. She's a good helper. She's a very good helper. So, just gonna stamp him in black. I'm a little low, sorry. I don't think my camera moved, but I must have moved. I wish I can move the camera over like 2 inches, because I like to craft down here, because I am short, so I can't lean over the whole table. And then we're going to do the doggy. He's gonna be cute. Actually, we're gonna do the dog, or we're gonna do the cat, because I can only use gray and orange. Or I can only use gray and black. Oh, he will be. It was funny, I wasn't gonna come on today. I was feeling lazy. I was like, no, you should do it. Once you start doing some things, you know, it's better after. Ooh, I've not cleaned this since I cleaned it. I did a big cleaning of this and I left it out so that it could dry, and naturally it collected some kitty bling. But that's okay, we got a handy dandy lint brusher. Just go right over top of it. Yoink, yoink, yoink. And no more kitty bling. I do that with my ink pads too. I make sure that it's a fresh new doohickey sticky roller, and then you can just very lightly go over. Okay, so let's color and then we'll go from there. It was a really cool and fun event this weekend. So it was for demos on the islands, and we had an insanely huge potluck. And then we had about, I don't know, 2 hours or so in the morning of just chatting up, stamping up news, asking questions. Just kind of things like that. And then we had lunch, and there was like multiple pasta salads. There was chicken salad, like pasta dish. There was Meatballs, pulled pork, which was really good. There's chili. Some fruit. Really good. Really, really good grapes. Grapes have been a little tricky here lately. Hi, Kathy. Kitty Bling, yes. So it's my hairdresser, when we were talking about shaving my hair. And I was like, yeah, it will be great too, because, you know, we'll hide the silver a bit, or the gray a bit, because all the stress my body's been under, I started going gray years ago. And he's like, you're not going gray, you're just having your bling strings. And every bling string is amazing. And I just thought that was so awesome, right? Like, what a cool way to look at going gray. Like, I didn't really care I'm going gray when it happens. It was just a bonus that this haircut would go great with that. So Kitty Bling is also, so that's where I kind of came up with the Kitty Bling. So my hairdresser gets full credit for that. So we're gonna have a black bear. Normally I would go brown, but because the challenge is gray and smoky slate and crushed curry and black, so this is what we're going to go in for. We have lots of black bears here. There's actually a couple cubs in the park. I will have to say, as much as I really do miss my dogs and I do miss walking in the morning, I have to admit, being stressed out about worrying if the bears and their cubs are in the park has been a very nice thing not to have to worry about. Never had to worry about it with my other dogs, Mocha and Lucky. But Kea was kind of I love her dearly, but she was a little bit of a jerk. And so I think she would have thought she could take on the bear. And I think even if the bear left us alone, she would still kind of want to provoke it. Because that's just kind of who she was. So and then Milo would have been just devastatingly freaked out. And he would have gone absolutely crazy. I would have had to pick him up and carry him out. But that would have been very tricky. So that was always a worry for me. Okay, so I went with kind of just a little bit of gray around his eyes, just so that his eyes aren't quite as dark. And then I'm just gonna go over with the black, so then it kind of makes it a little lighter. I don't know if you can see it, but then it just comes around. So alright, then the same here. We're gonna go with a black doggy. And he's gonna have black and white paws, just like Milo. where were we? We were out and got just the most epic dog snuggles ever. The dog was just so happy. It was so nice. I was like, if they weren't busy, I would have just been like, can I hang out with your dog all day? Yeah, so then after lunch for the event, we all got to do make and takes, and there was 6 different ones, so we went to each table and got to have lots of fun and just visit and chat. It was really cool. But naturally, I was so tired. So I did nothing yesterday. Just gonna take the blending brush and I'm just gonna do a dab on the thing so that if there's any liquid popping out, it won't get on my card. There it goes, just dripping a bit. I don't know why, but every now and then a whole bunch just comes out. I don't know if it's the pressure or whatnot, so now his face is a little blurred, which I don't like, but I can't restamp the back. So we have to decide if that's okay, or do we do, I suppose you have 100 Christmas cards ready. I actually do have a lot of Christmas cards ready, only because our strike happened last year and I just didn't send any out. So, but I had a bunch made. I even written in a whole bunch of them and enveloped and stamped them and everything. And yeah, I didn't use them, so I am definitely ready for the cards to be mailed. I think I have to do like 10 or something for what I need, and then just get a couple extra just in case. Alright, so sorry, I'm gonna redo that dog because I just don't like it. Oh, I think that's better placement anyway. Okay. Put my die away. Close the ink pad. Alright, O'Malley has the zoomies. Here's such beautiful colors. I never come close to duplicating your amazing results. Plus, I do not have multiple blends. They're really expensive. Yes. You know, the best is just to add a set on each order. It's kind of the way I started, and now I just have to, you know, almost every order I just add one. But they definitely are expensive, so I totally get it. There are some actually other good alcohol markers out there. I'm gonna change him up into gray. But if you want to trick whether or not you're using the blends the markers, which are going to be retiring, or you're going to use the watercolor pencils. The very coolest, best thing that you can do is use the black watercolor pencil. This thing just really helps no matter how you are coloring. There are days where I can't color just because the alcohol markers smell too much, and if I have a headache or a migraine, I can't do it. And this needs to be just dark because it's so pretty. So even just going with just some normal colors or the watercolor markers, which is generally my go-to. I very rarely use the watercolor, or no, just the normal markers. I like the watercolor pencils or the blends. But either way, either one you use, the black color pencil going over it just is awesome. All right, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make him a sweater, and we're gonna do a little paper piercing because I don't want a black sweater on him. Okay, so stamp, and I want to this one. Don't stamp on my, or stop on my ink. Oh, maybe not, that's too big. Yeah, that's too big. Okay. No paw prints. I was gonna do little mini paw prints on his sweater, but it's basically the same size of his sweater. Okay. That's okay. This yellow sweater will still work. Alright, so I'm gonna just quickly it seems weird or sad when you chop off a doggy parts of an animal. It's like, come on, don't make me do that. So normally we color or cut and we leave like a little border. Not the case for paper piercing or masking. You want to cut right on the line. Sorry, for some reason I can't fussy cut and chat. Go. That piece of paper just totally flung. Okay, so I'm going to do, oh, I missed his little neck. I guess we can leave that envelope white. We'll do black nose. Or dark, not smoky slate nose. Smoky slate nose. The envelope can stay white. And then I'm gonna do gray presents. And I'm gonna do dark gray there. And then Well, I think I need to put Smoky Slate on my next order, Kathy. Go. So, anyone else do anything fun this weekend? So the really cool thing about going and doing make and takes at an event is that you get to play with stamp sets that you don't have. And so that was really cool. Dude. No, don't bump the camera. Sorry. The O'Malley is coming in. Hi. Okay, dude. Okay. Okay. Stay there. If you're gonna snuggle. Can you hear him purring? Thanks, bud. Okay. So, black pencil. I'm just gonna kind of go over where our shadows will be. Hi, Connie. How are you? We're making some Christmas ornaments using animals. Yeah, just really help makes it pop. O'Malley they're both looking good. They got really big grooms. Apparently, they're on that major shedding season. With Missy, she just had long hair, so we never had a season because it just came out in clumps. So whenever I brushed her, it came out. So I don't have to worry about it, but my goodness, these guys. There's just constant losing fur. Right. Need to elevate that smile because she's a cute, happy little bear. This trick too is really helpful when you're using black or like Secret Sea, just to help redefine your lines, just because those colors are so intense. So you can also take the stamp and write marker. You know, you don't have quite as much control over it if you make a boo-boo. But just emphasizing those lines again just really helps pop them up. So, okay. I have a little bit of a mess going on. My brain's like, we can't function with the mess. No, it's glue time. Oh. No O'Malley snuggles with glue. Yeah, that's cute. Good shit, there you go. Okay. Then, Oh no, not me having a mess. You can't have a mess. Hi, Kate, dude, I promise I will snuggle with you after. I promise, I promise. So, I'm going to take my Stampin' Up blend, or my Stampin' Up markers, which are going to leave us, and which I honestly don't use that much of anyway. Hi, you're just adorable. You can't see him, but he's curled up on the side here with his little head is resting on my arm. It's too cute, as Joy would say. And then afterwards, we're gonna wink Estella those out. And I'm gonna just do a little black here so it looks like the Christmas wrapping ribbon. Just as a little more. It's like on the package. Sorry. I know I say it every single Monday, but my mouth is so dry. And admit I didn't do a good job drinking my water this weekend. Actually, this whole entire week. Okay, so bauble topper. It's going to go right there. Doo-doo-doo. And then there's a real topper circle. Just goes right on top, I guess. Okay, let's hope that's enough. That is enough glue to hold that one together. Okay. Now we need to consider what our layout's gonna be. Kind of want to do the fa la 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 page. Ow, 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 sorry. I love the trees. It's funny, the only page I don't like is this one, and I've used it quite a lot actually. We have a monochromatic hop coming up for Balmy Blue, which is my favorite color. And I've used this paper for the card, and I'm not sure I love it, which is funny because I love the paper. And I love Balmy Blue. But what's I made? We'll see if I redo it. Let's go 5, since I don't know what kind of layout we're doing. Ow! That's pokey. Okay, just playing. See what we come up with. I'm just gonna go 4. And then might be too much. So we could do that. honestly just take that off. Ooh, I kind of like that. That's simple and nice. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Sorry, just putting paper away. Trying to put the paper away. Okay, so now do we go? I know I want the background to be black. That's a given. But if we were to mat this piece up, nope, that's the same size. So close. Sorry, I have really sore fingers. I have extremely bad fingernails at the moment, and they hurt. Okay, is this 4 1/4 or 4? I can't remember. So I'm gonna trim you down so that you are 5 1/8 and 3 7/8, which is my go-to normal favorite layout. And then I'm gonna give it a tight border of 4 by 5 1/4. And then that will go there. Okay, and then I think we're gonna do a Smoky Slate mat. We're gonna try it on that. Smoky Slate is not a huge color I use often. Okay, so now that I trim this down, we're gonna trim this down. So 5 3/4, or no, 4 3/4. And then 1 3/4. So this needs to be 1 7/8. Patty Bennett, I did this math wrong somewhere, did her live on Friday, she always does, and she was telling people about the reversible measuring tape. And one of the first videos I watched of hers, she had recommended that, and I have to say that it was a game changer. I never knew 1/8 existed, or 1/16 or whatever, and it was always so sweet because if I was crafting with people, they'd be like 1 little tick or 2 ticks in, and I just had no clue, and it was frustrating, but it also then made me feel like an idiot because I just didn't know. But math and numbers are hard. I really wish I could go back to school and learn, because I know how to learn now, and it would just be so helpful. And so yeah, having that tape measure, and then because it's reversible, it goes that way, which is the way we want for our cutting tool. It is a wicked. That was the best tip. It's probably still the best tip I've ever had for any, just because now I can do things better. I was working on a Christmas card with Tori. Well, Tori was here the other day, and it was so cute. We both started singing Christmas songs. Oh, and then I was making a reel, and I was like, Tor, pick what Christmas music you want, and so I was doing them when we were going through, because you could test them before you push play, and like add it to your thing, and so we were having a blast just belting out Christmas stuff. Okay, so down here, and it's this side. Am I the only one that has to do that? Which side is it on? Because I flipped it over. Oh, it's so cute. Okay. Grabbing a Tic Tac. I need to chug a whole bunch of water before I come on so my mouth's not dry, so I can actually speak. But at the same time, I don't want to do that because then I won't be able to get through, because I would need to go pee. Alright, I'm going to use a sentiment from here, because I've used stamps from here. I've only used the dies from this set. In our crafting event this weekend, we were talking about how the red rubber is going away, and that we were talking about the new envelope things that the stamps are going to come in, and we were talking about storage, and then it got me laughing because I was like, crafting, buying crafts, and then buying stuff to organize my crafts are 3 separate hobbies. And so I'm excited from a social, or from an organizing point of view, for the new system. I don't know if I'm gonna like it from pulling everything out of an envelope, because I hate pulling the dies out of the envelopes. So we'll have to see. But I am excited that I get to do some decorating. Wasn't sure how it was gonna turn out, but it's adorable. Aw, thanks. That's the risk we take by me not planning anything. I'm just like, yep, let's go. It is funny though that that's how it's worked, because okay, do we do that, or do we do a black piece and emboss it with white? Because I feel like that's kind of lost. But yeah, I'm always like, I love to plan, I love to organize, but I did not enjoy coming on with an organized card. Because if I missed a step or whatever, I was so incredibly nervous. And it like would stress out, and then I get kerfuffled, and I was like, I don't want to be here. I still have a little bit of that like social anxiety from that. It's like, okay, I did a new, I played with my embossing system. Naturally, I don't like mess, so I wasn't happy with my system. So I'm changing my system. I changed it last night actually, so I haven't used it yet, so we'll see. I took out that block and then I put it away because, you know, we can't have a mess. Okay. underneath that I'm not coming off the bomber. Okay, that looks good. Doesn't look like I got a halo. Okay, pulling out my. Enjoy watching you so much. So laid back, no pressure. Thanks, Marisky. Okay, this is really hard when you don't have nails, but look at that. It's a much bigger space, so I don't get the silly powder everywhere. Alright, I think I like it. Okay, I'm gonna heat this over here. My heat gun does not reach. So, give me a minute. Talk amongst yourselves. I should not have left the powder just sitting there with the kitties. Oh, this was the right call. It's not even on there and I can tell. Okay. Done, done, done. Yes. Love it. Okay, so now as long as I don't drop the drawer with powder, we're good. Alright, so yay for that new system. Okay, so I'm just gonna clean this quickly. And then we'll be almost done. Sorry, it's an hour. No matter what I try or do, like, I'm always like, oh, I'll, you know, try and make it less so you guys don't have to wait for an hour for me to finish. But at least it's an hour of fun. With cute kitty cameos. Well, very rarely Oscar. Actually, Oscar was chilling with me on the desk the other day. It was pretty sweet. Oh, and then he wanted snuggles after the doctor's appointment because they got their shots. And he really wanted to snuggle, but he was like confused on how to snuggle at the table. So I was like, okay, no problem. I'm gonna move. Gonna go bring in the chair. I'll, you know, we'll snuggle. So I brought it all out, changed all the system, and then he decided he didn't want to do that. I went to snuggle in the bed. It's like, of course. Oh, did you hear me talking about you, Oscar? Yeah, that is perfect. Way better. Doesn't get as lost. So it needs one extra piece. Okay, I'm gonna use that, but I'm gonna do it a different way. So I'm going to adhere glue on this side. And then just because these are two different really weird shapes and sizes, I'm going to take that off. And then I'm going to just use the tweezers. And it's going to go under both things. And then I'll add one more on the edge. This way though, you can get it to go exactly where you need it to go. Okay, then top it off with some little tiny bows. Gotta run. Thanks for coming and hanging out, Marisky. Have a good day. So sweet. Thanks, Kathy. Okay, one little bow. Sorry, I can't talk and tie bows. I'm still rather new to the bows and ribbon. Anytime I do anything good with a ribbon, I'm always like sending the picture to my friends Tony and Connie. I'm like, look what I did. Alright, so when you get these, I just use my scissors and add a little notch so then I can flip the ribbon in there. Because if not, it goes everywhere. Alright. Okay. Is that not crooked? There we go. Might need to trim this one down. That bow is so little and this one is so big. Alright, let's take off the top of our glue dot. 2 bows. Ready to go. Alright, so we've used our crushed curry, our smoky slate, and basic black. So glad we did some paper piercing for that sweater. And if you weren't doing a paper or color combo, you could of course do it with DSP. Like a plaid would probably look great, especially a red plaid from the Weekend Adventure one. That would be like quintessential Christmas if you like red. Alright, now since this is ribbon and it's Christmas, we naturally need to add Wink Stella. And I'm just going to add some to the presents too, because it's there we go. Oh, that's so cute. All right, do we think it needs an embellishment? Let's see. Do I have a crushed curry? I have this one with the gold. I don't think I have any crushed curry. I have the black dots. Ooh, I do have daffodil fillet. Alright, well let's do some daffodil fillet. Oh, nope, that's not my color. It's crushed curry. Never mind. Alright, well we'll use the gold. Just because the paper has gold. Although, I've used the non-specialty sides of this one. So, but I still think it will work. Okay, so low profile dots for the win. Oh, one there. Running away. No, I'm not sure how, but I want to make a shaker card with these so that it looks like there's a shaker inside the bauble. Don't know how I'm gonna do it yet. But that's one of my ideas. Alright, so low profile dots, use the gold ones. And there we go. That is adorable. I love it. I'm gonna make his sweater sparkly too with the wing Castilla. Yeah. There. I don't know if you'll be able to see it through the camera, but there we go. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. Hi, Jan. Thanks. We were doing a challenge of crushed curry, smoky slate, and basic black. So, yeah. So, alright, well, thank you for hanging out with me. Have a great day and week, and I will chat with you soon. Bye.